Philadelphia with the 15th pick. Hang on. This is going to get better. Because this is going to go... No McScruffy. Easy. Welcome back, National Football Show, Big Sills. We are getting ready here for our 2022 NFL mock draft. I'll move some things around the week of the draft, but every year what I do is I put a mock draft out. Now look, don't start getting your panties in a bind when I start throwing positions out, or these are players that I think teams need to address because you have a deficiency. I've watched the majority of these players now. I like going back. I watch them on YouTube. I sit there and I go, I think this kid could really fit into this particular scheme. Because remember something, not every football team, just because you like a guy, that wasn't his skill set in college. Like a lot of those guys that come out of LSU, do you know why they're so versatile on defense? Because back when Coach Orgeron was the coach there, they went back and forth from a 43-30. They went back from a 34-43 all the time. Yes, you can mock my draft. Yes, you can, Chris. Thank you. Okay? Look at Pete. What BS do you got for us? Hold on. Here we go with my Sally Jesse Raphael glasses. Here we go. With the first pick in the 2022 NFL Big Sills mock draft, Evan Neal, Alabama, 6'7", 350, offensive tackle. Got to protect the guy that you invested all that money in. And Trevor Lawrence has to have a guy to protect him. Put him at left tackle. They just put a recent guy in the Hall of Fame who was their best left tackle in history of the program, and Tony Baselli. This kid, he's from around the Okeechobee area. I know a lot of people that knew him in high school. He's a Florida kid. Again, how'd that guy get out of Miami? How did that guy get out of Miami? Because he went to that shitty Alabama program, and he went and played at Bama. Big deal. Why didn't you stay at home, kid? He decides to be a traitor, and he goes and plays at Alabama. Okay. I got the kid number one overall. He's really, in my opinion, position-wise, I think he's a special football player. I think he's really going to make a difference in Jacksonville. And Doug Peterson, isn't this guy right up his alley? Here's a guy that I think is going here. Would I take him? Man, there's a lot of hype on this kid. I think the Lions, because of the proximity of Ann Arbor, I think they take Aiden Hutchinson, 6'6", 265. He's an edge rusher. There's a lot of edge rushers that are in this particular draft. The Lions need a lot of help on defense. Chris Spielman is part of that organization. They're going to get on that side of the football with Dan Campbell. Here's my problem. I saw Hutchinson get knocked on his ass a little bit when he was in that semifinal game against Georgia. Georgia knocked him around a little bit, man. I was like, I don't know, you know. And he went against really great athletic offensive linemen in that game. And I thought Georgia blew their doors off, especially in the second half. They were running at them at will. Bad game? Okay, well, guess what, man? You can't beat Alabama. How the hell are you going to beat the Packers? So I got Aiden Hutchinson. I do think he goes Lions. I think they like him. Look, the Big Ten to me is a good conference, not a great conference. The SEC is spectacular. That's right, Anthony. I had a problem with that, man. Number 3. You want to know who one of the best athletes is in this draft? It's right here. Derek Stingley Jr., 6'1", 195 LSU, cornerback. I think he goes to the Texans with this pick here at number 3. Phenomenal player. Coach O told me the other night, you want to know about just pure skill set when it comes to playing the cornerback position. He's got a little Darrelle Revis in him. He's got great hands. You know, I mean, they thought of playing him on both sides of the football because of his athleticism. They thought he was spectacular of an athlete. So I got Derek Stingley Jr. there at the 3 hole going to the Texans. Number 4, Kayvon Thibodeau, 6'5", 258, Oregon, edge rusher. They need, Robert Saleh, the head coach there, defensive-minded guy, knows that if you're going to be in a conference and in a division with Josh Allen, and you got Mac Jones that you got to get to, you need to have an edge rusher and you need to have a pass rusher. And Thibodeau, according to Mario Cristobal, told me the 2 best football players that he has had at his respective positions were Justin Herbert and this kid Thibodeau. He goes, Sills, watching him in practice, nobody could block him. And Penei Sewell was in that practice. So we're talking about some high draft pick kids. And there's some kids that are going to be Oregon guys that played in that O-line. And Cristobal said this guy killed all of them. He dominated the Pac-12. And he was a force in the Pac-12. Got a little banged up a little bit at the end of the year. But Kayvon Thibodeau is, without a doubt, probably, in my opinion, who will have a better career, Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson? My money's on Thibodeau. Thibodeau goes to the Jets. Akeem Kanawu from NC State at 5, 6'4", 320. The Giants need O-line. In my opinion, he's the second highest graded offensive lineman, the kid from NC State. Probably, if I were looking at it, now look, when you go in the top 5, you're not drafting a guy to be a guard. They're clearly going to put him over at left tackle. 6'4", 335, that's a big kid, okay? Like to see him a little taller, but his athleticism is right there with Neal. Neal's size and his speed. Like when he goes to the combines this coming week, don't be shocked if you see a guy that's 6'7", 350 pounds running a 5'2". If that kid runs that 5'2" like that, that kid Neal's just going to solidify it even more. Okay? He's just going to solidify it till more, right? This kid's really, hey, and this kid plays with a chip on his shoulder too. Charles Cross at number 6, 6'5", 310, Mississippi State offensive line. Panthers take him. Christian McCaffrey needs some more offensive linemen if he wants to stay healthy. Okay? They need to get themselves an opportunity to keep that guy healthy. And their offensive line is not very good. So the Panthers have to start retooling that old line, in my opinion. So I got Charles Cross, 6'5", 310, Mississippi State, going to the Panthers at number 6. I know Eagle fans are going to hate this. At number 7, this kid, George Karaftis from Purdue, 6'4", 275, edge rusher. He goes to the New York Giants. The Giants are doing things here that they need to. They need to address both lines. They're awful. I have never seen the Giants O and D line this bad at the same time in my entire life. Covering them, playing against them, having a family member involved with them. I've never seen the Giants this poor. Okay? I've never seen this guy. And I'll tell you something, Big Pickin', he's really shooting up the draft board. He could go higher than 7. Okay? He could go. I think the 2 elite edge rushers are Thibodeau and Hutchinson. But I'm telling you, this kid from Purdue, he's moving up, but I don't know how much so that, because if you notice, every one of these players that I'm putting down here, This is all a need here. At number 8, Drake London, 6'5", 210, USC wide receiver, Falcons. You went out last year and they got Pitts from Florida. Now they end up going out and they get this kid London, who I think, in my opinion, I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft. Big kid, physical kid. Did not play really in a system with star players like some of the other great wide receivers out of Southern Cal. And you know what I really love about this kid too? He blocks in the run game. He is a big kid. He's 6'5". This guy's a 6'5", 215-pound guy running routes for you, going across the middle. That's a big dude. That's a big guy running across the middle of the field. And you're taking on those cornerbacks, 5'11", 6 feet. The guy's a good-looking football player. Here's Xander's guy. At number 9, Kenny Pickett. 6'3", 220. Pittsburgh, quarterback. He ends up going to the Seattle Seahawks with the 9th pick in the draft. I'm making a gamble here. I think they're beginning the process of moving off of Russell Wilson, and they're preparing for it. There's been too much conversation in the last 2 years about whether or not Russell Wilson wants to play in Seattle. Do you know how you protect your flank from that? You have a plan. Pittsburgh doesn't have a plan. Dwayne Haskins? Mason Rudolph? That's not a plan. You need to have a plan. If Russ wants out, this is also, in my opinion, this is also maybe something that ends up doing this. What? Maybe you facilitate a trade to trade Russell Wilson away too. So I'm saying they take Pickett at 9, Seattle, making a gamble there. At number 10, Ahmad Gardner, 6'2", 188, Cincinnati cornerback. Think he goes to the Jets, if I'm not mistaken, at number 10. That rounds out the 10. They need help all over that defense. Not as much as what the Eagles need. There's more holes on the Jets. But to me, I think they end up taking this kid from Cincinnati cornerback at number 10. You guys are going to hate this pick. At number 11, going to Washington, the Commanders. Kyle Hampton, 6'4", 220, Notre Dame. Can you imagine this? You'll have Chase Young back, Jonathan Allen. Then you put Kyle Hamilton back into secondary. You got your makings of a damn good football team in Washington. Kyle Hamilton rounds that defense out. Pass rusher, run stoppers, and cover corners that can hit and cover safeties that can hit. Dumb name, I'm with you, man. Kyle Hamilton at number 11 to Washington. At number 12, Jermaine Johnson II. 6'5", 260. Here's a sleeper for you. Florida State, edge rusher, goes to Minnesota. They need a pass rush up there. This kid here, in my opinion, is one of those guys. I know he played on a crappy football team, but this kid here, in my opinion, if you watch him and you watch his technique, he is a good-looking football player. And so I got the kid, Jermaine Johnson II. 6'5", 260, edge rusher, going to the Minnesota Vikings at number 12. At number 13, Treylon Burke, 6'3", 225, Arkansas. Wide receiver, going to the Browns. Browns are big on offense. Kevin Stefanski, that's his forte. You know, I mean, you end up losing Odell Beckham. You add this guy to the mix. Can you imagine this kid here Burks goes to Cleveland. You get Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb back. Okay? You get him, and then you put him on the other side of the wide receiver they have on the other LSU kid. They're going to probably lose the tight end. That's a good-looking offense. Only problem is their quarterback. But they're going to keep putting offensive weapons in that offensive huddle. I think their defense is pretty good-looking right now. At number 14, Devontae Wyatt, 6'3", 315 from Georgia. You know what's really funny about this? I'm going to make a point to you. I'm not buried the lead here. But some of these guys that really I didn't isolate on enough, and I was isolating on really the big-name guys. When you talk to scouts and you talk about their personal grades and where they rank in their positions, I was really shocked. Devontae Wyatt, 6'3", 315, Georgia, D-line. I got him going to the Ravens at number 14. Here we go, Eagle fans. Next two picks. At number 15, Trent McDuffie, 5'11", 205, cornerback, Philadelphia Eagles. Again, Xander hates this pick. Trent McDuffie, Washington, cornerback, Philadelphia with the 15th pick. Hang on. This is going to get better because this is going to go. No McScruffy, easy. This is going to go against the trend. You can't pass this guy up. With the 16th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles, Devin Lloyd, 6'3", 245, LB to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, here's the difference with this kid. You could stand him up in a 34. You could put his hand down in a 43. I think this kid here is the most versatile player in the draft from the linebacking position. He's not a pure backer. He's like the kid in Dallas. He's an edge rusher. He can play the run. He can cover tight ends. And he's big. This kid, Devin Lloyd. Now, if you're all looking at him as a pure backer, there's no way how he's got to be more for Howie to take him. And he sells himself. When you watch him on tape, watch him get around the edge and how he pass rushes. Watch him play the run with leverage. Watch him how he covers tight ends. He's right on him. Okay? Yes. Big picking. Kid from Utah. And he's coached by one of my great friends, Cal Whittingham. I love him. And I spoke to him. He said, Dan, his work ethic and his desire to be great is off the charts. He's a tone setter. He's in the locker room, constantly keeping the guys focused. He's a born leader. See, this is what you don't get, okay? You don't get because I talked to the coaches that these guys played for. I talked to all these guys. I want to know what makes this kid work. That's why I put him, pure linebacker, they're probably not taking him. But because he's so versatile, he can do more. I got Devin Lloyd at 16. At 17, Garrett Wilson, 6 feet, 192, Ohio State University, wide receiver, going to the Chargers. Chargers don't know what's going to happen with Mike Williams, right? And you got a signal caller in the building. Okay? You got a signal caller in the building that you keep wanting to put stats around him. Okay. At number 18, oh my God, I can hear it already. Matt Corral, 6'2", 205. Ole Miss, going to the Saints. Last time the Saints had an Ole Miss quarterback, his name was Archie Manning. Matt Corral is going to appease the locals. He's a good player, fits the need. He fits right there with the Saints. Number 19, Trayvon Walker, 6'5", 275, Georgia, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Trayvon Walker, 6'5", 275, Georgia, defensive line, Philadelphia Eagles. So you got another guy that can rush the passer here. So if you're looking at the Eagles, Trent McDuffie, who you hate, quarterback, Philly. Devin Lloyd, Utah. And now, Trayvon Walker, Georgia. Defensive line, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. You get those three guys, man. You fill needs. You fill your needs. And Xander's like, he's from Washington. I'm not taking crap from that place. All right. At number 20, Sam Howell, 6'1", 225, UNC, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 21, Chris Olave, wide receiver, 6'1", 188, going to the New England Patriots for Mac Jones. Number 22, Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Bama, to the Raiders. Derek Carr was going to like that pick. Number 22, I already did that, Jameson Williams. Number 23, David Ajabo, 6'5", 250, Michigan edge rusher, going to the Arizona Cardinals. At number 24, Xander, Nakobe Dean, 6 feet, 225, Georgia linebacker to the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. You got Parsons and Dean now in your defense. Oh, I know he's too short. Okay, we'll see, won't we? Here's where I was referencing. Man, I thought Jordan Davis was going to be the highest-ranked defensive lineman in this draft. He's not. I kind of buried it here. At 25, Jordan Davis, 6'6", 330. Georgia defensive tackle to the Buffalo Bills. Last year they went edge rusher, the kid from Miami, and now they go inside. Building a great team up there in Buffalo. Number 26, Trevor Penning, 6'7", 321. Northern Iowa offensive tackle. Guess where? To the Titans. Why? Derrick Henry's calling. I need some more old linemen. Number 27, Jahan Dotson, 5'11", 185, Penn State, wide receiver to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 28, Berland Raymond, 6'7", 305, Central Michigan, O-line to the Green Bay Packers. Number 29, Tyler Linderbaum, 6'3", 290, from Iowa Center to the Miami Dolphins. Number 30, Boye McPhee, I believe that's how you say his name, 6'4", 265, the University of Minnesota, D lineman, more of an edge rusher kind of guy, to the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 31, Zion Johnson, 6'3", 318, Boston College, O-line to the Bengals. And rounding out the first round, Malik Willis with the 32 and 32nd pick, 6'1", 215 Liberty, quarterback to the Detroit Lions. There's your draft. Evan Neal 1, Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Stingley 3, Thibodeau 4, Iknawu 5, O-lineman, NC State to the Giants, Cross 6 to the Panthers, 7, the kid from Purdue to the Giants, 8, London, wide receiver, USC to the Falcons, 9 is Kenny Pickett to the Seahawks, 10 is Gadniel from Cincinnati, cornerback to the Jets. 11 is Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame to Washington. Johnson, the second, Florida State edge rusher at 12 to the Minnesota Vikings. Burks, wide receiver, Browns 13. Wyatt, D-line to the Ravens, and McDuffie to the Eagles, Lloyd to the Eagles, linebacker from Utah, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver to the Chargers, Matt Corral to the Saints, Walker to the Eagles, Sam Howell, quarterback to the Steelers, wide receiver from Ohio State to the Patriots, Williams, Bama receiver to the Raiders, Ajabo to the Cards, Dean to the Cowboys, Davis to the Bills at 25, Penny to the Titans, O-line, North Iowa, Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State to the Bucks, Raymond, 6'7", 305, O-lineman, Central Michigan to the Packers, Linderbaum to the Dolphins, Maffey to the Chiefs, edge rusher, Johnson to the Bengals, and Malik Willis, quarterback to the Lions. We'll talk about this in hour number 2. Jason Cole will be with us also in hour number 2, our NFL Insider. A lot of news in the NFL. Please hit the like button. We'll get your response. We'll get your thoughts. We'll do it all next right here on the National Football Show.